Have you ever thought about how laws shape our lives? Or why some countries have peaceful societies while others are troubled by conflict? Today, we'll dive into the fascinating world of constitutional design and its impact on governance and society, focusing especially on South Africa and India. Let's begin with the concept of constitutional design. Constitutional design is the process of framing rules for governance, guiding both the government and citizens. This chapter explores the role of constitutions in democracies, using South Africa's journey to democracy to show how they can transform nations. Now, let's look at South Africa's demographics. South Africa, rich in culture, had three main groups: whites, blacks, and colored. A minority white government enforced apartheid, a policy of racial discrimination. Nelson Mandela fought for a free, equal society and was willing to die for his ideals. In 1964, he was sentenced to life imprisonment for opposing apartheid. Apartheid was a system of racial segregation in South Africa, enforcing white supremacy until democracy ended it. It created deep divisions among the people, leading to significant struggles for equality. Speaking of struggles, Nelson Mandela was a key leader in the fight against apartheid. Mandela spent 28 years in prison and became South Africa's first black president in 1994. The anti-apartheid struggle saw blacks, colored, and Indians, led by the ANC, resist apartheid through protests, strikes, and marches. By the 1980s, apartheid was dismantled, leading to South Africa's first multiracial election in 1994. A new constitution was created, aimed at promoting equality, healing past wounds, and building a fair, united society after years of racial oppression. During this time, messages like "Beware of Natives" and "Boycott Apartheid" were prevalent, highlighting the tense atmosphere. The main features of apartheid included segregating people by race, enforcing separate living areas, schools, and public spaces. Interracial marriage was criminalized, and movement was restricted. Non-whites had no voting rights or political power, making apartheid one of the most oppressive regimes of the 20th century. Eventually, the apartheid government realized change was necessary. Talks began between the apartheid government and the ANC, indicating a shift towards peace. In 1985, Nelson Mandela famously refused conditional release from prison, showcasing his commitment to justice. Over the years, significant events unfolded, including the formation of South Africa's largest national trade union and the declaration of the first state of emergency by P.W. Botha. As the situation evolved, the first multiracial elections were held, and Mandela was elected as the first black president. The new government focused on forgiveness and healing, creating a new constitution that respected the rights of citizens and embraced diversity. Towards a new constitution, former oppressors and freedom fighters collaborated to create a highly regarded constitution that guarantees extensive rights and promotes inclusivity. It emphasizes everyone's role in improving society, regardless of their past, and has become a global symbol of democracy, positioning South Africa as a model of democratic governance. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, Act 108 of 1996, was a landmark achievement. Nelson Mandela is often referred to as the Gandhi of South Africa, showcasing his leadership and struggle for freedom. He was imprisoned for 28 years before being released in 1990, leading to the end of apartheid and the democratic transition. Mandela championed forgiveness, unity, and human rights, guiding the creation of a globally respected constitution symbolizing democratic change. But why do we need a constitution? A constitution is a set of written rules that define how citizens relate to each other and to the government. It builds trust among diverse people, outlines government structure and decision-making powers, limits government authority, and protects citizens' rights. For instance, constitutions in the US and France emerged from revolutions, establishing democratic governance, while most countries, even non democratic ones, have constitutions. Now let's shift gears to India. Creating a constitution for newly independent India was challenging. The country was recovering from the trauma of partition, which caused over 1 million deaths. Princely states had the option to join India, Pakistan, or remain independent, complicating integration. Despite these challenges, the framers focused on ensuring unity, stability, and a democratic future. The path to drafting the constitution involved existing consensus. Unlike South Africa, India already had broad agreement on democratic principles before drafting its constitution. Foundational documents and colonial experiences, such as the 1928 Motilal Nehru Draft and 1931 Karachi Resolution, shaped universal adult franchise and minority rights. Indian leaders adapted global ideals, such as those from the French Revolution and the US Bill of Rights, to create a constitution that met India's unique needs. The Constituent Assembly for the Indian Constitution was formed in 1946 with 389 members. After India's partition, it was divided, leaving 299 members in the Indian Assembly. The Constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950, celebrated as Republic Day. You might wonder why we should accept the constitution made by the Constituent Assembly more than 50 years ago. The Indian Constitution represents a collective agreement and has been respected without major challenges to its legitimacy. The Constituent Assembly, elected by provincial legislatures, ensured diverse representation. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar led the Constituent Assembly, which discussed over 2,000 amendments. Debates during the drafting process were recorded for future interpretation, ensuring that the Constitution reflected the people's hopes. The guiding values of the Indian Constitution were shaped by the dreams of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Ambedkar. Both aimed to eliminate inequality, though their visions differed. Gandhiji dreamed of an equal India, while Dr. Ambedkar focused on removing social injustices through legal and constitutional means. The philosophy of the Indian Constitution is built on values that guided the freedom struggle and form the foundation of India's democracy. The preamble highlights these core values. Sovereign, the people have the supreme right to make decisions free from external influence. Socialist, wealth should be shared equally, and the government should regulate land and industry to reduce inequalities. Secular, citizens are free to follow any religion, and the government treats all religions equally. Democratic, people have political rights to elect rulers and hold them accountable. Republic, the head of state is elected, not hereditary. Justice, citizens are free from discrimination, and the government works for the welfare of all, especially disadvantaged groups. Liberty, citizens have the freedom of thought, expression, and action. Equality, all are equal before the law, and the government ensures equal opportunities. Fraternity, we should treat each other as members of the same family, fostering a sense of equality and respect. The makers of the Indian Constitution designed it to reflect the people's hopes and adapt to societal changes. They did not view the Constitution as unchangeable, allowing for amendments. There have been 104 amendments so far, categorized into three types. First category, Amendments require a simple majority in Parliament and the President's approval. Second category, amendments require a special majority, two-thirds of Parliament members present, and the President's assent. Third category, amendments need the special majority plus approval from at least 50% of state legislatures. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 9. Thank you.